Yo, what's up guys? So welcome back. The new Duelist pack got revealed yesterday with those reveals for the TCG, and if you're thinking or doubting to pick up the set, picking up certain cards you might need for your deck, is it worth it? Then I feel this is the perfect video for you. So let's take a look, let's zoom in. As you know, the new Duelist pack featured three new archetypes, at least new cards for 3 archetypes featuring Volcanics, Salamangreat and Battlin Boxers. The set also is going to be released next week, if I'm not mistaken, so August 10. That's for Europe at least. So let's zoom in, like for particular cards, how many of them you need for your deck, the ratios, like the rarities as well for us TCG players. So I feel let's start off, I think, with the best archetype. I mean, it depends, but I'll come back to that in a couple of moments. But let's start off with Volcanics first. So that's on the right side here. And as you see, some of them, as expected, are ultra rare, like, the boss Doom, I believe it's called Doomfire. I think you need at least 1 or 2 for your main deck if you, want to play Volcanics. Same for Trooper. Trooper is, I think, the best card featuring Volcanics. It's basically another Searcher, a Stratos for the deck. Then Rimfire is very similar to Volcanic Shell. It's one of those cards that you might want to pick up at least, well, 2 or maybe even 3 of, just in case. Pure Volcanic, and I'm already looking at the future, or in the future, like HORUS cards, etc. This might just be, good as a 1-off or even maybe 2-off, but Pure Volcanic 3. I'm looking at the new Blaze Accelerator card, either 2 or 3 of. It's also a super rare, so not that hard to get. 3 might be a bit too much, it depends. Going pure or maybe for hybrids, I could definitely see this card just fine as being a 2-off. The other spell featuring, for the new Volcanic cards is also a super rare. It's, basically a Foolish Burial. It depends. Going pure, I could see this as a 2 or even 3-off, but I've ran this card in like builds, well, not included. So it depends, but I don't think. Well, maybe pure, you could go for like 1, 2, even 3. 3 is probably too much, but it's just one of those cards that you might want to pick up. And then speaking for the traps, really short, that the Continuous Step, as you know, is a monster negator, doesn't destroy the monster if I'm not mistaken, but I feel it's just fine as a 1 or 2 off, because again, it's searchable by the boss, while the other trap might be a bit too slow. I feel it's just fine as a 1-off maybe. I wasn't running it in my builds. So that's it for Volcanics. But Volcanics for future metagame, this has high potential. We'll come back to that in a couple of moments. So next is a deck that I'm highly excited for. We're getting more support here in the TCG. And that's Salamangreat. Salamangreat, as you know, got a structured deck some time ago. And these new upgrades definitely help out the deck tremendously. A couple of them are UR as expected. Like, for example, the Tiger might just be fine as a 1 or 2 off. It opens a potential Baron place, as you know, or maybe Baguska place, because it can change its level. And same for the Salamangreat Link 4. I feel it's just fine as a 2 off. You want to reincarnate Link Summon with that, and Jaguar can just send it back to the extra deck if you want to summon that. Weasel is level 3 that gives your opponent like a monster. I think it's just fine as a 1 off, maybe 2 off. That might be a bit too much since you can recycle it. Another UR is the new Synchro, but I don't think you're running that, because the Salamangreat extra deck is just so tight, simply because there are some Salamangreat links you want to have multiples of, like Sunlight Wolf, 2, maybe even 3 off, same for Balings, and the Link 4 Salamangreat, the extra deck is super tight. And speaking of Sunlight Wolf, it's featured, or it was revealed yesterday, that it's going to be the Ghost Rare. Have ratio 2 to 3, but I mean, Sunlight Wolf has had multiple reprints, but if you want to pimp out your deck, I feel it's definitely it might just be a 3 off, because you need it. Also, one of the new ones is Salamangreat of Fire. I think it's just fine as a 1-off, maybe 2, just 1-off probably. It adds a couple of new lines to Salamangreat as well, easy access code talker. So I think it's just fine as a 1-off. Then the other ones, I don't think you're running, like, what is it, the Burning Draw and the new Trap. Common and rare, but I don't think you need them, so I don't think those are worth. So that's it for Salamangreat. And then last but not least, we have Battlin Boxers, also an archetype that I'm looking forward to, because it's an old school archetype from like more than 10 years ago, I believe. And you might have seen the new support it's actually super solid. Like most of them, I have like 3, at least the main deck monsters. 2 of them you are, so the Searcher, the left one, while Promoter, you know, the Cyber Dragon, Rescue Rabbit one, the right one is also a 3 of, and the middle one gives you an extra normal summon for the turn. That one is a rare. Okay, that's fine, I guess. While on the bottom part, you know, the extra deck monsters, I think both of them are fine as a 2 of. They also got like a rank up spell card, which is not on the list. I don't think you're running it in Battling Boxers, either pure or a hybrid with Infernal Knights. But because, I mean, Promoter is there. Promoter's Graveyard Effect lets you, you know, add the levels of all Battling Boxers on field to, you know, get out that rank 5 exceed. So I don't think the rank up spell is needed. And then last, we have the Trap card, which is searchable, you know, by your in-engine cards. And it's basically a monster effect negator, counter trap as well, and it's only a super rare, so that should not be hard to get. So short set, like meta potential for all these 3 archetypes. There's of course multiple reasons, multiple, you know, factors that you have to keep in, you know, account for, you know, something like this. Most notable, of course, is the ban list. Let's start off with Salamangreat first, and you know, it's very similar to Volcanics. I feel both of them are somewhat at the same like level of meta potential. The ban list is super important for Salamangreat because I'm looking at Gazelle still being at 1 in the TCG, but imagine 3 Gazelle with this support. I could see that there is definitely potential, but again depends on the ban list if other cards are hit as well. Rise Heart, for example. The other one being Volcanics. Volcanics also has potential, but more so again depending on the ban list, but more so new support. I'm looking at the new Volcanic and Fire support in the future, plus the HORUS cards, right, that can abuse Volcanic Shell. So it depends like how much of like a Volcanic package is being added into like, you know, a potential HORUS hybrid. And then last, we have Battling Boxers. I see Battling Boxers as a somewhat of an okay-ish mid-tier deck. There is potential, the cards are solid, they are really good, but the deck might break off of 1 or 2 hand traps. So, you know, recovery from that might be hard for that particular deck, but nonetheless, it's a solid deck, solid support. So, that's it for me. I think there's potential. The reprints are fantastic as well. So for me, I feel this one is a pickup. Okay, guys, this is it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Riddim signing out. Peace.